Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Leadership Show Kids Edition today. I am Joel Patterson, the founder of the Vested Group, and we sell, implement, and support the NetSuite environment for a variety of different companies. And today, I'm happy to be joined by my children. And I've got Dean Patterson here, who is 15, and Elyse Burton Patterson. I call her Bert most of the time. She is 10. And really, what we're doing today is we're giving our kids an opportunity to learn a little bit about what Dad does, and then also and talk to them about what they do on a daily basis, and see what we can learn. So I'm going to start. Hey, kids. Good to see you guys. All right, Bert, you start. What do you do?
So I don't really know what you do because
No, what do you do? I want to know that
I
first.
do?
Yes, what do you do first?
Be a kid.
Okay, that's fair, but on a daily basis, what kind of things do you do?
School.
Yeah.
But now it's summer, so I just lay down all day. So
Wow, lay down all day.
yeah.
Genius, I love it. How about you, Dean? What do you do?
Well, before summer, I was a freshman, and so I spent most of my time either doing homework or playing sports. So
In sports, you're playing what?
baseball right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so now the big question that I'm assuming you may or may not have a really good answer for. What do I do? Dean, you want to start?
Yeah. All I know is that you implement ERP. I think it is.
That's good.
technology.
Yeah, that's good.
That's basically all I know.
That's all you know?
Yeah. You just.
All right,
Yeah.
Elise, what do you think I do?
I don't really know. All I know is you work with NetSuite, and you have told me this a million times, but I just can't remember.
Okay, well, then that's kind of the hope of today is that we're going to learn a little bit about me, because now I'm going to turn the reins over to you, and I want you guys to take control of the interview and ask away.
How did you choose my name?
How did I choose your name? So your mom chose your name, and I got to choose your name, and it was really Elise is your Aunt Alex's middle name, but we changed the spelling of it just a little bit to match a winery that we really like in Napa called Elyse Winery. So it's spelled Elyse, and then your middle name Burton is after a friend of mine that passed away a long time ago, and his middle name was Burton, and so that's why we call you Bert. Your turn.
What are your dreams for me?
What are my dreams for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say my dreams for you are to be happy and content, whatever that may ultimately be. I hope that you have success in whatever you do, but I don't really care what that is, as long as you find value and you find it to be fulfilling in some capacity. Then I'll be super happy with whatever you decide to do long term.
Awesome.
Do you remember any of the songs that you used to sing to me?
Yes, I used to sing He Went to Paris. That was the main one. The other songs are probably your mom's domain, but I used to sing that one, Jimmy Buffett song, a long time ago when you let me. I don't know if you let me do that anymore, but I guess I should try again. Your turn.
Did you enjoy school?
I did, actually. I liked school mostly. I enjoyed the stress of taking tests for some reason. I did well in math. Like you guys are both good at math, so I think that we have that in common. But for the most part, I did pretty well in school. Sometimes I got lazy about it, but yeah, I enjoyed school. But I also had the typical pressures and stress that you guys are very familiar with. Fitting in, sports, that stuff can get pretty stressful. But yeah, I like school.
How will your classmates remember you?
How would my classmates remember me? You know, I would think that they would remember me much differently than I am now. I think I was more introverted when I was a kid and didn't necessarily, even though I had friends from baseball and just from class and just the normal ways you make friends in school, I think they would be surprised that I'm in the role that I am in now. And just because I didn't really speak out a lot when I was younger, I was a little shyer.
What did you do for fun when you were a kid?
Well, sports, just like you, enjoyed playing sports. I managed to stay out of trouble most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. But for fun, we would it was a different time. It was, we just kind of ride our bikes. We would go somewhere to play catch. We'd build forts. There was a bayou this was in Houston. There was a bayou next to our house where we would, which is pretty kind of disgusting when you think about it now, but we would just go play and build forts in that area. I'm sure there were all kinds of critters and snakes running around, but we just spent more time outside than you guys do now.
Are you still friends with anyone from that time in your life?
I'm not, actually. That's kind of sad, isn't it? I still keep up with, like, you guys know the Kesslers, so I still keep up with Dave and Anna from college. So I've got friends from college that I still talk to quite a bit. But from back then, most of those friends were either in Houston or Phoenix. I don't really talk to them too much at all, actually.
Do you have any favorite stories from school?
Favorite stories from school?
Yeah.
So when I was in fifth grade, I've said this before, and Hillary's laughing at me now, my wife, that everything is kind of, it was all a build up to fifth grade, and then it all came crashing down. That was my top. Because in fifth grade, I ran for student body president, and I was Joel the mole who kicked the field goal. That was on my my campaign banners, and I won by a landslide. So tell me it didn't work. And I was also Charlie Brown in a play, and I was
Nice.
Prince Charming in the Snow White play. So it was a pretty good year, but it's been downhill ever since.
Oh man.
Sounds fun. Tell me, or what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Like everybody, I thought I wanted to be president, which no way would I ever want to do that now. But when I was a kid, I thought that would be cool. I wanted to be an attorney at one point, and really even when I was in college, I thought about going to law school and did some pre-law work, but ultimately decided I didn't want to do that either. And I genuinely like working with computers at the time. You know, when I was in college, I got a degree in MIS, which is Management Information Systems, which is really what I do now. And I'm one of the few people I know that uses their major on a day-to-day basis. So when computers started becoming a big thing, the internet came out when I was in college. So that all kind of came together, and I really liked working with technology, and I happen to be doing that now.
Do you like your job?
I love my job. I think that the best part of my job is being able to work with the people in the organization. You guys know a ton of them. I've worked with a lot of people for 15, 20 years, and having those kind of deep relationships that have served us, our organization. I really value those relationships with people like April and Josh, who I was with on 9/11, or just other people that worked at Lucidity that you guys know with my last company. It was it's just a really enjoyable experience for me to be able to invest in people, see them grow, see them get married. I've been to a lot of people's weddings and seen their kids grow up. That part of it is my favorite. But I also really enjoy the aspect of being able to go into companies and learn about what they do and learn about what is maybe not going well in their organization, and then we have an opportunity to help them and make it go better.
Tell me about how you got into your line of work.
When I graduated college in 1997, I went to work at a company called Arthur Anderson, and my very first project was implementing a system called Oracle e-Business Suite, and I've been doing that same line of work ever since. So I've been doing this for almost 25 years, and in 2001, after I'd worked for Arthur Anderson for 4 years, me and along with 3 other guys decided we wanted to do it ourselves. And so we started a company in 2001 that you guys know is called Lucidity. And I had that up until 2011 when I started the Vested Group, and continued to do, as Dean so eloquently pointed out, ERP consulting. So the Vested Group is now going on 9 years old.
What lessons has your work life taught you?
Many. It's taught me probably more than anything that failure is the best way to learn, and not be afraid of failure. Be willing to try as many things as I can and see what sticks and what doesn't. I think that oftentimes people look at failure as being a failure, when in reality, when I look back at my time with Lucidity, I had a lot of failure, and that's truthfully what has made the Vested Group what it is now, and has allowed us to do some really good things and have a tight culture, have a place where people want to work. I just think that if not for failure, I wouldn't be half of what I am now. but it also has taught me that you don't really know a lot of things. You know, you might think that you have a good understanding of what you've got going on or what your plans are, but in reality, you're making it up as you go along, and that's okay too, as long as you trust and believe in yourself and know that if you fall down, you just got to get up again. You just got to get up one more time than the number of times that you fall, and you're ultimately going to be successful at it. And as long as it makes you happy, just keep doing it.
Nice.
What kind of student were you?
You asked me that one, didn't you?
Mm,
You asked me, what kind of student was I? What do you think that means? What kind of student?
like maybe you were the student who is perfect at math, or the student who always did their homework, or like.
I usually did my homework. I was pretty good at math. I had good scores, but I wasn't perfect. Like I said earlier, I enjoyed taking tests for some reason. Like I kind of relished the pressure of doing that, but other than that, it was just making sure I worked at it.
Do you plan on retiring? If so, when?
Retirement's a funny thing. I can't imagine not doing something. That's like our friend Fergus. He's 70 something, and I can't imagine him ever stopping to work. I envy that. I would like to be able to find something that I can do, even at that age, that keeps my mind focused. I get to work with people, and honestly, I wouldn't even care if I had the ability to work for free for people just to help them. If I set us up well enough by then that I can invest in other people, that would be ideal. I would love to be able to work for people that want the help and can use the help, and invest in their businesses and help them grow. All right, one more question each. I think we're about time.
What were the hardest moments if you had when I was growing up?
The hardest moments I had, it's always going to be that first few months when you maybe aren't sleeping through the night. Or actually, here's a funny story. I remember when you were you weren't even a day old, and we were in the hospital still, and I was sleeping in the recliner next to your mom, who was in the bed, and you woke up every 2 hours, wanting to be fed, and I remember looking at your mom and thinking, is it too late to turn her or to give her back? Because it was already in the middle of the night, the very first night. I was exhausted from having to wake up every 2 hours, and your mom was the one doing all the work. So, but once we got through that, you've been a pretty good kid. It's all right. I won't send you back.
Do you have any favorite work stories?
Any favorite work stories?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, a million of them. I think all of my work stories go back to the people involved. You guys went on trips with us when we used to take everybody to Cancun. We went to Puerto Vallarta not that long ago. Those stories are the ones when you actually get to spend time with people at work, outside of work, and see how they interact with their kids, get to know their spouse, get to do all the things that you want to do, and to get to know them as a person. That still is the most fun thing. But from a work perspective, it goes back to those teams that I was part of. I know you guys still don't know exactly what we do on a day-to-day basis when we're out at a client working with them, but when we are putting a new system in for them, it's very difficult because it's kind of like we're going through COVID right now, right? And when you guys changed from going to school every single day to getting assignments online and having to figure out the new systems that you were using, the new process, the new schedule, has that gone smoothly? Not really, right? Not really. That's exactly what we do when we go into companies and we pull out their old system, put in a new system, and teach everybody how to use it all over again. So there's a lot of stress that goes into that. They're not always happy with it because it's change, and change is hard for people. And being a part of those teams that do that, is that the most interesting answer you've ever heard in your life? Being a part of those teams is people really have to band together and push through those difficult times. In hindsight, they're hard when you're going through it, but in hindsight, those are the best times because you're there and you develop that bond, and you got to be there with other people that you care about. Right. All right, so final question from me. What do I do?
So when something like COVID happens, or like something, they have like the system and it completely failed, you give them a new system and reteach it to all of them to be successful.
I like it. Good answer. Very good answer, Dean.
You locate a problem in a company and use software from Oracle to basically fix that the best way you can.
That's a good answer too. So you guys have learned something, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is. Oh, you want me to tell you who's my favorite? Oh,
Pointing at me?
No, I can't do that. It's not on video. All right. Well, this is the wrap of the Leadership Show, Kids Edition, and I want to thank Bert and Dean for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have learned something. And that's a wrap. Thanks, guys.